by roadracing.com. If you want to find a league, watch digital racing content, or buy racing accessories, visit them through the link in the description.
Round number 12 then brings us to Monterey County, California. Just 3 hours and just under 19 minutes from the state capital of California in Sacramento. Welcome aboard, and a good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to you all. I am your main commentator, Impartial Immortalis, and I am joined by one ultimate surfer.
How's it going?
We are doing amazing. We are here at the WeatherTech Raceway Laguna SECA. And you guys may know this course from the IMSA WeatherTech Sports Car Series, if I can get the name of this series correct. Round 12 then of the EDRS Indycar Championship, the final rounds and the final chance for these drivers to get points. Casper, if we can transition to the point standings, we'll point something out that happened from Nashville. Cam takes the championship lead and Drift just 11 points behind Casper. Cam, rather, I do apologize. So far, Drift has not, to my knowledge, shown up. And so, if this happens tomorrow, Cam is definitely going to be set for the championship, as the red flag is for the warm-ups that has just ended for these IndyCar drivers. Now, if we take a look at the track layouts for today and tomorrow, we sit on 2.228 miles of track, 11 corners, an average qualifying lap of 126.5. Tomorrow, your average race lap of 127.2 with 125 laps to decide the winner of the first ever season of the EDRS IndyCar Championship. Surfer, your thoughts on this and how that definitely could affect the championship battle?
Well, I mean, also with drifting not being here kind of sets him apart, and Cam has a really good shot at the championship. So, I mean, really, championship is set for now unless Drift shows up.
And as we wait for this server to shut down for the moment, let's go ahead and take a look at that last race winner from Nashville. No surprise, Buckeye Racing's Cam by 2.1 seconds after finishing second, third, and fifth. He desperately needed that win, and that win came to him in that fashion. Now, especially with the way that things are set to go, just give us your thoughts on the championship season so far, and just what has come to your attention from that.
Well, I mean, Cam has really good speed in his car, and I mean, he does great during races. His only problem this season has been drifting and how good his car has been. So I think without drifting, he's got a pretty clean race today, and I think he can probably win, but we'll see how qualifying goes.
Definitely, and for the moment, it looked like Cam might even nag pole away from drifting, and the rest of the field sitting right near that benchmark time of a 124.6. or 124.5 rather, just a tenth off of that time. So it's definitely going to be interesting to see how Cam's race pace is compared to his quali pace. So again, as we near the shutdown of the server, now wrapping up warm up, Cam gonna take the top spot with a 124.6. Durser right behind with a 125.679. Don't even mention that meme. If anybody mentions that meme, we are definitely gonna have issues. Moving on from that, we appreciate you for joining us wherever you have tuned in from. I am your host, always impartial, aka Immortalis Impartial, joined by the Ultimate Surfer and our lovely streamer, Casper Firewar. Casper, if you want to say some words, go ahead. Yep. And while we are on it, we're going to go over your qualifying format today, which has been different from the past few races. Not the condensed qualifying format that we have seen in the past. There's gonna be a different one. 2 groups of 9 cars. The top 6 are gonna advance to the Fast 12. And then the top 6 from the Fast 12 make it into the final 6. And unlike previous races where we've had a fast lane and a slow lane, this is group qualifying, meaning that everybody's going to go out at one time. And so we're definitely going to see some battles today. And Surfer, what are your thoughts on the potential for those battles?
Well, with the warm-ups and everything, with lap times, I mean, I think Cam and Durser might have a very close battle.
And breaking
drifting
news,
is in.
Drifting Flame has arrived.
Now Cam is
Drifting
definitely
looking
gonna have a
to
hard
snatch
time
back
with that
the championship after losing it last week in Nashville by 11 points. And as we talk about drifting, qualifying has indeed started as we track that number 31 drifting design machine. And in the past, at road courses like Detroit and at Road America, drifting has been one of the top tier drivers that you can definitely count on to have the pace. As the cars now fly by the kink where we are, against 2 cars off. 2 cars off at the kink. One, I believe, has damage. Caution's gonna be thrown. So that's gonna be, I believe, damn. Might have gotten in that red flag now thrown. No, that was one of those cars was Sierra. Sierra jumping out of his car, having to respawn it, running that Apex GP fire suit. As we move on to the number 9 Visit Argentina race, our IndyCar. Definitely some early drama here today. Not even a few minutes into qualifying, and we already have 2 racers crashing. Question remains, could that be what we see throughout the session? Or is that just a one-time thing? What are your thoughts on that? The action game.
So the way this is being ran right now, from what I've been seeing, I think it might be multiple occurrences today because of the way this track is laid out and how hard each car is battling for position.
Yep, definitely. So as we see drifting flames going wide 2 corners in a row, there's another one going wide behind him. I believe that's the 15 of Cam. No, Cam is in the pits. That was the 00 of Unusual Account, who slammed into the wall, nearing pit entry. No damage to that machine, but definitely not what he needs if he wants any chance at having some kind of pace. And as the cars line back up in the pit lane, Cam getting drifting to join the stage in the EDRS Discord server, which, by the way, if you want to race in the EDRS IndyCar series with the EDRS Motorsports Association, join the EDRS Motorsports Association Discord server, which will be linked in the chat within a moment. And I am being told that Delta is gonna get a reset due to his car exploding because of a track glitch. So lucky break for Delta in the number 22 Apex GP team IndyCar. As I believe, are back underway. The yellow flag has been shown. And the link to the EDRS Discord server has been sent in the chat. Anybody interested? Not already in the EDRS Discord server. And coverage of the EDRS IndyCar Championship is brought to you by C Media, the best racing for the best viewers. Hearing just over 11 minutes to go in this session. We are back under green with everybody doing outlap, and we have a couple of cars going wide. That's definitely not what they need for their chance of getting into the top 6. Drifting going fast. Drifting going fastest with a 132.0 at the moment, but Neville, surprisingly, right there behind, just 8/10 on the dot behind. Cam not looking so good at the moment. He did tell me that he has not practiced here at Laguna Seca. So interesting to see what he can do with now just under 10 minutes to go. If you're speaking, I can't hear you. All right. So, little rundown of the field. What I'm calling your C Media run down the field. It's Drifting Flame so far with a 132.096 on pole. Unusual just 2/10 behind him in second, looking to close the gap even more and find some of that missing pace. Melville a 132.896, just 8/10 behind. Durser now going fastest with a 126.6. pushing Mebel into the bottom 4. Sierra going faster now. Same thing with Pug King. Cameron going to pole. A 124.8. Beating out both Drifting and Dursert.
Oh, not Durser. Drifting just made contact and is now on the side of the track with a broken back left tire.
Yep, huge error for Drifting. Caution gonna be thrown. We'll see if they don't throw the red flag as Drifting does make his way onto the racing surface, going back off. And I think and he is gonna make it to the escape road, trying to make his way back to pit lane. Definitely gonna be a little bit of a struggle with the elevation that he has. But alas, can he get it done? 124.8, the fastest lap set by Cameron, your points leader at the moment. 126.0 by Unusual pushes Drifting into the bottom 4. So now, as Dursert coming across the line, Dursert not going to improve at the moment. He is at a 126.6 still, which was the fastest lap for the time being, but was bested by Unusual and Cam. So we'll see. Sorry.
Cam now in pit lane making a pit stop.
Cam in pit lane, definitely wanting to top off on those tires. Trying to get that fuel as little as possible so he's able to get a pretty fast, well, try to get a fast lap. On pit exit, you're just going to have to go over that both white lines, especially with that turn. Just so much speed you lose going into that corner is quite unfortunate if you ask me. Drifting also going to come out of the pits. He was able to make it back and get another vehicle. Pug King nearing the end of the lap, having just come out of the kink. And I do want to point out that on corner exit of the kink, the tiniest yellow curbing is in the way. So some drivers might wreck just because of that curbing. And at the moment, if I'm not mistaken, Cam has gone fastest overall with a 124.8, but I think I might be mistaken at the moment. Now keeping an eye on Pug King. Pug King running that Apex GP Formula 1 team inspired livery today. He might also be running that tomorrow as we do get set to go racing at 2:25 p.m. if I'm recalling my information correctly.
There is debris on track from Dursert making contact with the wall.
2:25 p.m. Eastern for the EDRS Indycar Series finale here at Laguna Seca. And as you did say, there is debris on the circuit, so we'll see if the drivers aren't careful of that. Oh, there goes Unusual in the kink. That's one of the issues I was talking about earlier. There is some debris coming out of the corner just after the kink. So if anybody goes wide there, they're definitely going to have a difficult time. Oh, and yeah, Drifting. Just ruining his time. ruining his chances of getting back into the top 3. Currently sitting P5 with a 126.7. Caution is going to be out. No doubts in my mind that this is going to be a red flag, as my suspicions are confirmed. A little bit of commentator's curse on that one at the moment. But just reaching 3.5 minutes to go. That kink we said was going to be an issue shown by Unusual. But I'm starting to believe that the set of turns just before the kink and the turn right after the kink is going to be a little bit of an issue. What are your thoughts on that, Surfer?
Okay, so I did just get word from Finnick that we did have a track glitch, and they're going to restart with 4 to go.
Oh, right. We're being told here first a track glitch is going to cause us to restart. Don't adjust your television sets. Don't adjust the channel which you're watching. This is EDRS Indycar Championship qualifying for the championship finale on eSport. And welcome back. Once again, a good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to our viewers live on the Media YouTube channel. We are back underway after a series of incidents, and there's another one. Who is that that's gone around?
It is Pug King.
Pug King losing both front tires and his rear right tire, if I'm not mistaken. Gonna be brought back to the pit lane to respawn that Apex GP Racing IndyCar. Unfortunate for him, as we will continue on despite that. Or rather, I'm mistaken. Not the one I was. Yeah. I believe Sierra and Pug King are doing the same thing, just different numbers. Number 55 and then number 22, respectively. And as we get back underway, you'll see the times fly across the screen, now drifting up into the top of the timetables. Is that what he needs to secure first place in this opening round of 6? In this opening part of the qualifying session? Oh, and yes, we do have a car around. If I'm not mistaken, that's going to be Pug King again who goes wide. Pug King, just a string of misfortunes in the qualifying session. Blocking up the rears a little bit on corner entry. Gonna keep it under control. Up to the line. It's no improvement. Cam, not even a 10 separates him and drifting at the moment. They are that competitive as Cam goes wide as well on 2 consecutive corners. Drifting a 124.6. Sierra a 126.5, Dursert a 127.5, Cam a 132.2 rather. That changes to a 25.9 and a 26.2 respectively for him and Unusual. Then you've got Dursert with a 127.5 and Nebel, who's at the moment set an outlap, I would want to say. The 125, a 155 rather, 6. Oh, mistake on corner exit. Gonna cost him a little bit of time, Neville. But as he crosses the line, where's he gonna end up? No improvement. He's still last. Definitely definitely not. As we near the final lap that these guys have, Neville goes wide. Red flag comes out. Neville, it barely picked out. Well, I say barely, but he does have another lap. Nearing our broadcast area in the King is Mebel. Just a few turns away. Drifting a 124.3 as we get updated on that. Durst at a 125.2. Cam's down in 4th at the moment. And as Mebel nears our broadcast area at the King, does go wide a little bit, but that's not gonna cost him. Neither is that moment. Nearing the last set of corners, goes wide again, trying to get that good apex. Not gonna happen, as he has one final corner. He gets it, but it is borderline track limits, in my opinion. Nearing the line, then, Mebel gonna go 6th fastest, kicking Bug King out of the top 6.
So as for right now, until Drifting will cross the line again, if he does, Drifting has ran better than Cam in practice. In practice, Cam ran a 124.6 and Drifting running a 124.346.
Drifting gonna abandon his lap. Good call by him. You want to save the fuel. You want to save the tires. Especially considering that you're first, and if you leave the session after the second group, then definitely gonna be an issue for you come race day. Everybody coming around to end off the session, and let's go ahead and remind our viewers of the point standings first and foremost. Cam just 11 points ahead of Drift coming into today, and Drift needs this win if he wants any chance of clutching the championship. And as we move on, then, that qualifying format, again, gonna be different from last week. Qualifying goes as such. Groups 1 and 2, the top 6 from both will advance into the Fast 12. Then the top 6 from the Fast 12 are gonna advance to the final 6 qualifying shootout for this final round of the EDRS Indycar Championship. Yep, and we are going to, as I'm being told, go into the final 6 now that the Fast 12 has technically occurred. So, do stand by for that. But once again, as we near the start of the Fast 12, driver's gonna line up at pit exit, and we'll be right back here on C Media with a very brief intermission as we get set to go. Or you cut me off.
This special C
As
Sports
we
presentation
get
is brought to you.
As we get set to go for the final qualifying session of the season. And we're not going to go to break as the final 12, or the final 6 rather, going to go ahead and get underway. If you want to take it from here, that would be amazing.
Okay, so let's see here.
Oh,
And we have Desert into the wall with a broken right front, I believe.
no, both fronts are broken.
Both fronts, okay.
Oh, Cam's gonna run wide. Not what he needs at the moment. Drifting. So far, he's been fast. No doubts about it. Finishing first in the Fast 12. Now looking to clinch pole position and get the RDH Fastest Lap Award for qualifying. And on the radio, we're hearing that Cam has had 3 liters left at the end of the first quali session. So we'll see if he pushes or decides to try and fuel save for this second session. Only time will tell about that. And so, just to remind our viewers at home, qualifying with only 6 drivers is not gonna be like we normally see it with a full field of 18 drivers. And as we say that, drifting, sliding, but he does manage to save it. Qualifying definitely has its ups and downs, in my honest opinion. Yep, drifting going fastest overall of 124.7. Mebel gonna get the 4th fastest lap, pushing Cam down to 5th. Cam definitely has the pace to try and claw that back. But do wait for Cam. Don't count Cam out of this contest yet. Tortoise and the hare type moments as Cam gonna go 2nd fastest at our next update. Exactly what you'd expect from a tortoise and hare moment. Drifting, chasing one of the Apex GP cars. That's gonna be the 22 of Sierra. Sierra gonna make a mistake. Gonna cost him some time and some raw pace. Another mistake, nearly crashes into that drifting designs machine behind. That's gonna let drifting try to claw his way on the inside. Gonna do so. Coming to the line, it's a drag race between the two of them, especially just starting qualifying, the second part of qualifying. Sierra goes fastest, the 126.4. Unusual also going faster, a 125.079, tying the lap that Cam put up. Durser now gonna find his way into the mix. A 126.1. So, if things stand, we will determine our second place driver in the standings with just under 5 minutes to go. That's Sierra sliding again. Again, just costing that number 22 raw pace. If you think about it.
Yellow flag is out. Mebel did go out of track limits, and he will reset.
Yep, Mebel gonna be given the opportunity to reset. Meanwhile, we go to Cam. Cam coming through the kink where we are stationed. Looking pretty racy in qualifying. Going wide, pushing track limits as much as possible. The question remains though, does race control decide to punish track limits abusers, or will that go scotch-free, gaining valuable time for these guys? Your thoughts on that, Surfer?
So, with it being qualifying, I kind of feel they're not going to give out too many penalties, but drifting has stopped on the side of the track. They may have given him a penalty or has a mechanical issue.
We'll keep you updated with that. The yellow flag gonna fly for, I believe, a Sector 1 or Sector 2 incident. But continuing our spectating of Cam. Cam, rapid in Nashville, looking to keep that pace up here. Excuse me. Rapid on road courses, as we saw in Road America. Now tied with Unusual, both at a 125.0. If one of those guys can hit the edge, and the others race, it's gonna be under threat. Cam's gonna pull into the pit lane, so that leaves the opportunity to. That's gonna leave the opportunity to Unusual. No, it's not. Red flag is gonna be out. Is that because it's this end of the session? No, it's for something else.
Oh, it is. Unusual was upside down.
Nearing 2 minutes now, just passing 2 minutes to go. It's Drifting Flames looking to take pole in dominating fashion. Well, not necessarily. Drifting is, or rather, Unusual and Cam are just tense. But anyways, Drifting looking to take pole in smooth fashion. Had the opportunity to keep his points lead in the championship at Nashville. Couldn't show up, or just decided not to show up. But Drifting has been a contender here in the EDRS Indycar series. Winning 5 races in a row. He has definitely impressed all of us. But anyways, try again with 50 seconds, if I'm not mistaken, if I'm not being told that we're going to start back up with more time on the clock. Usual stopped at pit entry, nearing pit entry. Not sure at the moment what's going on with that. Sierra also being allowed to respawn his car. gonna take the opportunity and respawn that car with a fresh set of Firestone tires. A fresh drive to try and catch the leaders. Kira is sideways nearing pit exit. So we'll see for that. I'm saying he has no reason to push on the radio. But
So
I would
just
have
got
to disagree with you there. You have a championship. You need to defend from drifting in any point and help that. And I'm being told 3 minutes gonna be left in quali. About 2 laps of qualifying remaining for us. And we are just waiting for that to start. Yellow flag has been thrown. I was about to send us to break, but definitely no need to do that as we get started with 3 minutes to go. 2 chances for these guys to get a lap in. Their best lap. Excuse me. And we shall see who takes advantage and who doesn't quite do so. Drifting looking strong so far. But that definitely could change as we go on board with that drifting designs onboard camera. Carries, especially coming into the kink. 3rd gear, coming out of it into about 4th gear. Strong performance for that 31 who does snag a bump in the road on the curb. He used the full curb to his advantage. Drifting Flame, the owner and creator of this game that we raced on. He goes fastest at the moment. Definitely could go faster. About 20 or so seconds he could gain. Unusual at the moment fastest. Now it's Neville at the fastest. There's a 1:35.063 sits in second. Can that gap close? Possibly not, as the 9 gonna be spinning into turn 1. Definitely gonna lose him a little bit of time. We'll see how much time as we near the end of the session with 50 seconds to go. We shall see who claims the top step of the provisional podium. Provisional race starting podium, if you will. Drifting now coming through the kink. Acing down Cam. Cam gonna pull to the side, trying to get as much time as possible. Not really gonna be able to do so for the most part. Drifting all over that gearbox. Drifting goes fastest, a 124.2. Cam with a 124.9, about 7:10 separates the two of them. They both have one more lap to try and claim the top step. Try to claim pole position, rather, and claim that RDH fastest lap award. That's an award we haven't really been talking about at all this season. Definitely could be useful to Drift if he does claim it, which at the moment looks like he is. You guys have something to say? Go ahead, Surfer. That was you.
No, I don't.
Oh, drifting, looking to go get past Cam as fast as possible to keep that momentum. He does abuse track limits a little bit. Oh, what a move. Cam gonna start sliding all over the gearbox of the 31. Later braking. But Cam with this, but rather drifting with the switchback. Does he have the momentum to finish first? No, he doesn't. Both of their laps are done. Neither improved. Well, Cam did by about 700 rather. But as it stands, Drifting Flames takes the pole position and the RDH fastest lap award unless somebody behind can do something. Dursert goes third fastest, a 125.8. So far, it looks like nobody's gonna match that. But again, we could be wrong. And Melbo loses his left front tire also.
Pretty
Unusual flip,
sure we may have had
as
another track glitch
unusual flip
because
right behind
iTrack
him.
has flipped.
Again, that might be a glitch in the track, which hopefully will be solved before tomorrow. Going on board then with or rather, I think everybody's done, if I'm not mistaken. Am giving his pretty much begging Drift for appreciation for the tow that he gave Drift. Oh, as it stands, Drifting Flames gonna be your RDH pole hitter. Claim the RDH fastest lap award for qualifying. That definitely could change coming into the race. But for now, Drifting Flames takes back the glory, takes back the spotlight, and takes back the diamonds. But other than that, pretty uneventful race, in my opinion. You're right. Qualifying, my bad. But again, pretty uneventful qualifying, Surfer. Do you think that this is gonna change in the race, or do you think that this could be the race for the championship?
The way everything ran today, I think it could be the race tomorrow unless we get all of the track glitches fixed before tomorrow's race.
Now your unofficial results: Drifting Flames gonna take pole, just 7/10 or so ahead of Cam, who finishes ahead of Dursert with a 125.8. Mebel 127.9 flat. Sierra 128.4, and Unusual rounds out the field, or rather rounds out the top 6 with a 129.9. And if you will stand by, we will get to the post-race action as the results have been officialized. And we are first joined by our second place in the championship, Drift. Thank you for joining us. Drifting Flames. At the moment, it looks like Drift is seeming to have some mic issues, so we will, for the time being, move on to Cam. Cam, thank you for joining us. Okay. So while we wait for those two, Hydrax, thank you for joining us.
Hello.
There we go. I'm just kidding. Anyways, not the best qualifying session for you, if I'm not mistaken. How do you think that you're gonna be able to change this around going into the race tomorrow?
I mean, I just have to find more grip in the turn 5 and 6 and the corkscrew, obviously. Um, but I feel like I could maybe go for P2 tomorrow. You know, a long time I haven't been here, so I really don't know what to expect tomorrow. But I could find my pace either way.
Yep, you mentioned finding your pace. I mean, that's gonna be an important part of the race tomorrow. So just try to walk us through what you think is gonna help you to find that pace.
I mean, obviously, Cam and Drift are both title contenders, so obviously they're going to be fighting for position. So I think I could take advantage of that to, while they're fighting, I could try for an overtake. Or if one of them wrecks, that'll just make it easier for me. Either way, it's obvious they're both going to be in a heated fight.
Yeah, you mentioned just taking advantage of that. As we mentioned earlier in the broadcast, if we go to those point standings, at the moment, like you mentioned, Drifting Flames and Cam, both contenders in the championship. So with a, if I'm not mistaken, P5 in the championship, what do you think is going to be your best bet to try to close the gap to the person in P4 in that championship?
I mean, I'm literally mostly known for not getting wins. So it's either luckily I get the win, I get P2, or the person in P4 just DNFs and I take advantage of that while finishing in the top three. Either way, those three are going to be my key points to closing the gap.
All right, Hydrax, thank you for joining us again. We appreciate your time. And one final question for you. Who do you think is going to take season 1 of the EDRS Indycar Championship?
I mean, it's obvious it's most definitely going to be Cam, but I don't doubt Drift. He's a pretty clean driver. So unless Cam DNFs, I don't know what to expect really.
All right, Hydrax, thank you for joining us. And moving on
You're
to the guy. He qualified second, but currently leading the championship. Cam, thank you for joining us.
Hola.
There we go. He's back. Cam, pretty good result for you. Definitely not the result that you did want, but again, good result considering that we are on a road course. And we both know that drifting is pretty consistent. Having won 2 out of the last 2 road courses, if I'm saying that statistic correctly. What's your strategy going to be to try to close the gap on race day?
Just I have really nothing to worry about. All I just need to do is race my own race. He wins, he wins. As long as I don't DNF.
You mentioned racing your own race. What what's gonna be the key to make sure that you're racing your own race and not fighting drift for the entirety of the race?
If I drop to the back, I just drop to the back and just sit there. I mean, obviously I know I have pace, but just mind my own business. Just no reason to push really hard.
All right, we Thank you again for joining us, and we have no need to ask you this question because we know you think you're going to win the championship. So, thank you for joining us.
All right. Drift, his mic is cooked right now, so he said he can't do an interview.
And with that, yeah, sorry, Fennec, our president of the EDRS Motorsports Association, just informing me that Drifting Flames is unable to do an interview with us. So we do apologize for that. So as we wrap up the session, let's take one more chance to remind our audience of what tomorrow's race is going to be like. What people are going to experience with tomorrow's race. So if we could go to the track information graphic, that would be amazing. Thank you so much. And a huge shout out to Casper Fire War for doing an amazing job this season of the EDRS IndyCar Championship and helping us out with our live streaming. So, Laguna Seca at an 11 corner, 2.2 mile track, 125 racing laps gonna be raced tomorrow. Might be some cautions thrown in with it. Excuse me. And that average race lap time gonna be a few seconds slower, rather about a second or so slower than the day's qualifying times. And I'm being told that the man, the myth, the legend, Drifting Flames is here. And we are now joined by the man that need no introduction, Drifting. Thank you for joining us.
No problem.
Drifting, he won for you today, giving you the RDH Fastest Lap Award for the day and pole position for tomorrow's race. What's your strategy to try to keep the rest of the field behind you?
Um, Honestly, I really don't want to I honestly just want to enjoy this final race. I'm pretty sure there is like a slim chance I won the championship because I didn't race last race, but it's eh. I'm just gonna enjoy it.
Only 11 points behind Cam says a lot about your consistency. So, just how do you think that you're going to maintain that going into the final race of the season?
I guess we can try to go for a win for the final race, but I guess we're gonna try to stay consistent the entire day. Maybe just run in the back for most majority of the race.
Same thing with Cam. No need to ask you this question. We know you believe you're going to win the race. So again, we do thank you for joining us today in the media broadcast booth.
Got it.
All
right.
right. So we are pretty much done with this session. So from the entire C Media broadcast team, I'm your host, always impartial, signing off for the final qualifying session of the season. Drifting Flames picks up pole position.
This telecast may not be reproduced, retransmitted, or re-uploaded in any form without giving explicit credit to C Media, the featured properties under its C Sports division, and the sanctioning bodies featured in this presentation.